good morning, good afternoon to anyone who's joining us. We're so excited to have you here again. I'm Briana from Briana K Designs, and we've got Michelle from MJ's Off the Hook and Hannah from Hand and Crochet here. And we're so excited to talk to you about our current crochet along. We're going live on lots of different platforms right now. We've got YouTube in here, we've got Instagram, we've got some Facebook. If you are on our Instagram live or you are on our Facebook pages watching this, comment CAL in the comments, and we're going to send you some links so you know what we're talking about today, and everything's like super easy to find because we want this to be streamless. But if you haven't caught us before, really quick recap, we are hosting an amazing crochet along again. You can join us for free or the VIP paid version. All the links will be there if you comment CAL. And then today, because it's been running for a couple weeks so far, but don't worry, you're not behind. There's no such thing as being behind. It's join whenever you want, but this is us going live again to answer any questions for those who have started and maybe they have questions on any of the designs in this crochet along. We can talk about yarn. If you're just joining, don't worry, there's some great yarn sales going on. You can grab some yarn, you can jump in whenever you want. So we're just here to have a good chat today. Ladies, how are you doing this morning?
Good. I'm good, thank you. I'm
tired.
Tired. Yeah, Michelle's tired.
Feel that.
But I'm here.
Yeah, we're here. I messaged you before, didn't I? So for me, it's like 3:30 in the afternoon, and I've done 6 hours of crochet filming already today. And my hands are fine, but my brain is like, I have no idea what I'm doing now.
That's my future. Like, I'm doing this and then I'm going to go do that.
Oh gosh.
Opposite time zones.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of people joining us. Some people saying hello from YouTube. Some people are saying, why were we late? I think just because we're tired and we were trying to connect all of our channels. So sorry, we are a little bit late coming in today. Good morning, everyone. If you have started this crochet along, tell us what you're making or what color of your yarn you're using. We've seen a lot of posts start to happen to pop up in our community groups.
Yeah.
Our community groups are where a lot of pictures are shared, yarn choices are shared, a lot of fun things going on there. And you can post in any of our community groups. And I believe we have links to find those as well, or sign up for our newsletter because we are constantly like sending out a lot of the pertinent information into our newsletters. Oh, Lori says my yarn just came in.
I spotted that too. Yay. What color have you got, Lori? What is it? Tell us what you're making. Yes. I love all of that. I've seen loads of bags already. I've seen lots of Danbury bags, and I've seen like a bazillion wallflower hats. My God, like Michelle, you said they were quick, but it's amazing. So many.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, tons of hats being made, and I'm seeing tops as well. I'm seeing tops, lots of bags.
So, and this puts pay to the fingering weight taking forever, because your top is fingering weight and it's not taking people forever at all, is it? Because even if people went and bought the VIP, they got that like 2 weeks ago or something.
Yeah.
So that's a really quick turnaround. So well done, everyone. Yeah, there's a half done Danbury bag and Michelle's summer top, which I'm loving. Loads of people are doing the V-neck version, aren't they? But I haven't seen a hooded one yet. I want to see a hooded one soon.
I just saw someone saying this will be their very first crochet wearable. That makes our hearts happy.
Yeah. That's amazing.
I love when that happens. And we get people to come on and try it and realize it's not as hard as it looks. It's like the same stitches as making other things. Someone else just received yarn for their top. Honey did the top, half done with the Danbury bag. Oh, Hannah's Penelope top.
With Kubu. Yes, I think that would work really nicely. Yeah.
Cannot wait to see that. You have to post that into the community groups.
Yeah. And I've seen someone's making the dress in like a variegated yarn. I don't know what the yarn is, but it's quite a hot mix of colors. It's like yellows and oranges and hot reds. So I think that's going to be absolutely amazing. Oh, look, Deborah's swatching for the cardigan. You've got your cardigan, haven't you, Briana?
Yes,
so lovely.
Today. Yes, I bumped down the AC to wear my cardigan.
We are honored. Oh, the sun's come out over here at last. And apparently next week we're having a heat wave.
We've been in a heat wave.
We're in one right now. It's so hot. It's so hot, but it's kind of nice at the same time.
Yeah. We've had lots of rain up until this point, so I'm so ready for sunshine.
We had lots of rain yesterday. Yeah. It's so fun. If you have any questions about anything about any of the projects in the crochet along, feel free to ask. We're here to answer any questions anyone has today. Someone said they just found some yarn that they're going to swatch and see if it will work for the cardigan. It's a turquoise color. So first off, love turquoise. That's amazing. Second, I love that we said we're going to swatch and see if it works, because that is perfect. If you have other yarn that you think would work, it could, but just do a swatch to find out, so you're not frustrated after making it if it doesn't size correctly. With some things, it doesn't matter as much, like a bag. It's not as critical. If your bag comes out to be a slightly different size, it's a bag. It's not a big deal. But for garments, we want them to look really good on you. If you don't want to do all that work and not have it. So definitely, I love that you're swatching. That's amazing. Someone said, I hear Florida is getting crazy weather. Yep. Yes. But a lot of the it rained all day yesterday, but a lot of the really heavy rain is south of me. Thank goodness. But yeah, Florida's been crazy. I have a feeling we're going to have a very active hurricane season. So that'll be cool. So said, Granny Square. Someone's made a Granny Square, but less than 2 hours to make the Granny Square bucket hat. That's amazing. Everyone's going to jump on that now. That's a quick summer project.
Absolutely amazing. Oh, and then this next question, what other projects in the cow late to the party? You're never late to the party, first off, ever.
No timeline, no timeline. We don't like restrictions. We want to enjoy this.
We don't. And like the idea of our crochet alongs is that the VIP ticket and the whole collection is only available until the crochet along finishes at the end of the month. But you will always be able to get the individual patterns either free to view on our blogs or as individual PDFs. So don't worry if you haven't joined yet, you can still sign up, get all the information and find them wherever is good for you to find them. But yeah, we did 6 patterns, didn't we, this time? Well, we normally do 6, don't we? We've done a garment each and an accessory each. So I've done there's that bag. We just have to say, don't we, that like, well, how many views has that reel got now? You did a
7 million views.
Like 7 million views.
Viral. This is the viral rectangle bag that has 7 million views on Brianna's Instagram reel, which is insane.
You just never know what's gonna like hit the algorithm. But I think the reason why this one has been so popular is because it's summertime and we want easy projects. And this is literally a rectangle, and then it just some quick, easy origami, 2 seams, and it's a bag. Plus the bag handle, I have instructions for, video instructions. Everything is really fun too. It's sturdy, it's strong. It looks like a crochet braid. But the fun thing about this too, I've seen a lot of different striping. I've seen a lot of different colors. I love it. Also looks good in a solid. Someone said this is going to be their go-to for gifting. So true, because you can just make it's a simple on-the-go project for sure. Yes,
love that. I love that. So yeah. So you've got the bag and your cardigan that you're wearing. Then Michelle has the bucket hat that we've been talking about. Have you got them all there?
For the adult size bucket hat, put it on. Put it on.
Yeah, so quick and easy, and that's the worsted held double, isn't it? Look how cute that looks.
And you can like flip like the hat is nice and flexible because I doubled it up, so you can like play around with.
It's so cute.
Yeah, and I did right down to baby size with little ties. So teach you how to do a simple little I-cord, which is so quick and easy. Absolutely love that little hack to quickly do an I-cord. So the video continues.
With Rose.
Yeah. Rose, I mean, she's not a big hat fan right now, but you know, that's what happens with like a 14-month-old. So it's hard to keep them on their head. And then
I remember when my boys literally hit that like one day in their life that were like, nope, I'm never wearing a hat again. That's it. I'm done. And they rip it off, don't they? As soon as you put it on.
So the Viscountess V-neck is my other pattern. So it's a V-stitch, all worked in fingering weight yarn in this beautiful, like just simple V-stitch pattern. And you can do it short sleeve like I show in the ivory, or you could do it long sleeve. And I've also shown the option to add a hood as well. So yeah, so you can play around. You could add a hood even to the short sleeve, really like, and even customize, make it longer if you want it longer. You can always do it 3/4 length sleeve if you wanted, like just really kind of whatever you want to suit your style. But yeah.
I love that. And we've all, I think in our video tutorials, we've all talked about like customization and tips and tricks for doing that, haven't we?
Right. Yeah.
Yes. I saw someone ask a question. It might be a little bit back, but it was saying if some alpaca yarn, I should have like read it a little bit closer.
I've got it. Will the alpaca DK work for any patterns in, I think that's any patterns in the crochet along?
And the alpaca DK, I don't know if is the one We Crochet have one in DK? I'm not sure which brand we're talking about for me to really think about it. But here's the thing. This is done in a sport weight, but sport and DK, depending on the yarn line and the yarn brand, they can be extremely similar.
Yeah.
A lot of times too, like the reason why we say swatch to find out is that's the only way you're really going to know, because when it comes to labeling yarn, I think we all get frustrated with it. There's some parameters around it, but it's sometimes we will get yarn ourselves and we'll hold it. We're like, this isn't a bulky, this is a worsted, or this isn't a DK, this is a worsted, this isn't a worsted, this is fingering. Like, sometimes companies, like they label it what they label it. They probably each have their standards. Sometimes that ranges from different yarn lines to different fibers into like where that truly stands. So the best way to find out is to do a gauge swatch. If you can do a gauge swatch and you can hold it up and you like the drape, because that's also important, because if you can get gauge but it's super stiff and it doesn't have the flexibility, you're probably not going to like the wearable. So I think it's possible, yes, but do a gauge swatch, see if you like the drape, see if you like the feel of it. If you do and you've met gauge, then absolutely 100% substitute that yarn, and I'm sure it will turn out gorgeous, and post a picture for us all. And that goes for any garment, for any top, and especially like with fingering weight yarns. I find those really vary. I know crocheters don't always like lean into fingering weight as much, although a lot do, but we're using a cotton. And so a cotton fingering I find sometimes is a bit different than, an alpaca fingering, but they both can work out really nice. And especially with Michelle's garment with that really flexible stitch, as long as that drape works, you can substitute and it would be gorgeous. Yeah. Someone just said, how do you decide what yarn can be substituted? So there's a train of thought. Like for me, that depends on what season I want to wear it in. So if I were going to do something for summer, I tend to stay closer to those cottons. And if I'm making a bag, I want something that's not going to have too much stretch, so that you can fill it and not have it have gaps and holes and the yarn stretching out weirdly. And cotton is usually best for that. But you might find like a cotton bamboo blend that could work as well. So gauge swatch that, fill it, stretch it, see what's going on there. But for garments, you really want to make sure that you've met gauge for sizing and that you like the feel of it for the time of year you really want to wear it, as well as the drape. And as long as you like those things in your swatch, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Right?
It's really tempting sometimes, isn't it? I've done it myself as well, of like, oh, I have some yarn that might just work for that. And I really like the color. So I don't really care that it's not going to work in terms of matching the gauge, and it's not going to work necessarily in terms of fiber. Like, it's going to make me way too hot. Like, you don't necessarily want a summer top in wool, like, unless, I mean, you can definitely if it's a lacy stitch, but I wouldn't recommend it if it was a full block. You'll just get too hot. So yeah, think about all of the things, the color, the yarn fiber, and the weight of it as well. Yeah. And it's an excuse to go yarn shopping as well, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And on that note, the yarn that we have, there is a coupon code within the sign up sheet. So if you haven't used that already, make sure you go and use that. If you have already used it, you can use it again, which we're very excited about. And We Crochet have their summer sale on. So however you get your yarn, you will get it at a discount. Happy days. Yes.
And someone just asked if it's too late to purchase the VIP package. Now, we might need to say this a few times in here, because we always feel like we say things a lot, but then we forget, like, people miss it. We got to say it more than we think. When it comes to the VIP package, if you've ever joined us in the past or now, and we always get messages in between us doing crochet alongs where people say, hey, I just saw that you guys did this last fall. Can I please purchase it? And our answer is like, unfortunately, no. So if you want that VIP package, yes, it's still available for the summer crochet along. For the seasons collection is what we've called it. We've kind of themed it around Bridgerton. But if you want it, get it now. Get it today. Because once this crochet along is over, that collection is gone. It's just so complicated for us behind the scenes to keep like all the financials together and all the sales and the way that we do it, combining with a collaboration, that when we first came together with this, we knew it would be easiest to just do it as a crochet along for a month, and then, move on to our next projects and not have to keep up with maintaining that product. So the VIP collection, if you want it, like when it's gone, it's gone. I would get it now. We're running it through the end of the month, I believe. Am I wrong?
Yeah, to the 30th. And after that, so like we said earlier, you still will be able to get the individual patterns, but the bonuses will disappear. So there are 3 bonuses that come with the package. It's not just the patterns that are in there. So go grab that today if you would like it.
Yes, it's not that you won't be able to get the patterns, but that amazing deal with the bonuses for this crochet along, that's like the collaboration, that is going away on the 30th. So you definitely want to get it if you want it. Someone just said they finished Bridgerton. Didn't we all? Oh, I binged that. It was
on the day that it was released.
I haven't finished it yet. I know. I've been too busy to even sit down and watch it. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, good. There's a comment up here, Michelle, you have to see. It's so lovely. I've learned so much from you, and I want to thank you all for your tutorials. Oh, that's so lovely.
Thank you so much.
Yay. Okay.
So we have a question about chain 20 inches, adding first row, and now
Oh, here we are.
Is this the bag? I just want to make sure we know what pattern we're talking about. So let us know what pattern. I'm guessing it's the bag, but I just want to.
So yeah, none of mine have a row of single crochet. Yeah.
Mine's more than 20, so I don't know. Yeah, let us know what pattern. So we have so many patterns sometimes in my head. I'm like, what's row one?
But also I think just in general that kind of thing, sometimes measuring, it's just no pattern, just an example. I think measuring a chain is so tricky, and you can measure it 3 times and it will be a different measurement for me anyway.
Yes. Same.
It's not a reliable way of doing it. And if a pattern, like some patterns do begin like that, don't they, to a measurement, then that's why you need to swatch beforehand, because you need to know what the stitch is measured, not necessarily the chain, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it will change.
Because always, once you kind of get into the stitch, that's really the true measurement, not the chain, especially because you could chain it too loose or too tight.
Yeah. Chaining consistently is really hard.
Yeah. Even just experienced crocheter, sometimes it's hard to get a chain consistent.
It is.
So this is the thing.
When you pull it out and practice a couple times too.
Yeah. When people first learn, the hardest thing I think to crochet to begin with is a chain. And of course, you need to pretty much do that for anything that you're doing. So, like, that's just hard. But when my mum taught me how to make a granny square, she actually started off and did the first round, because she was like, no, you're not going to begin with the first round. You need to start with the second round. And I'm so grateful she did that, because I was like, oh, these are actual stitches. I can do these.
Yeah,
that is true. Let's see.
So now I just want to mention again, if you're on Instagram, if you comment CAL, you will get all the links. If you're on YouTube, unfortunately, we don't have an integration with that to automatically send. But if you look at the description in YouTube, the link will be right there to go and see the sign up and purchase the VIP or join for free. So, and then some of my Facebook community group, if you comment, it won't work. And I believe Brianna's doesn't. Is it in your community group right now, Brianna?
I don't know. I have to share it.
No, we're in different spots. So my Facebook didn't connect. These are the technical issues we have when we're trying to set these lives up. My Facebook didn't connect. If it had if you'd commented, you would have got
Yeah,
link.
if you're on my Facebook page, it should work. Just comment CAL, and then you're gonna get a message with all the like. Just so you can find stuff easier. You don't have to go like search for these links. Like, where do I buy the VIP collection? Where do I find it?
So we for sure put them in the description. Instagram, now that we have the automatic DM, makes it a little bit easier for everyone tuning in on Instagram. And also we have that QR code that you can see on the screen that you can get all the information as well.
Yeah. We try to put it in all the places, right? Mm-hmm. So Monique saying, for the maxi dress top, can I use fingering weight yarn? Well, that comes back to the swatching. So I will say the sport weight yarn is, I think it would be tricky to get a true fingering weight to match, but I always hate to say it because I'm like, there is a way because of the construction of this. So the construction of this is just 2 rectangles put together for the top. Let me hold it up. You're making 2 rectangles. Now, if you can manage to get your fingering weight to make to the measurements, which are in the pattern, they're in the PDF, it shows you exactly how big these rectangles need to be. If you can get your fingering weight yarn in this stitch to do that, then yeah, absolutely. But it will take a lot of, as we would say over here, jiggery pokery to get that to happen. But if you feel up to that, then go for it and try it. But I would, unless you feel very confident in trying that, I wouldn't. Does that sound fair to say?
Yeah. I mean, as much as like it would be nice if we could take any pattern and use any yarn, that takes a lot more instruction. It comes down to math. So most of the time when you're going to do something like a drastic yarn change, or sometimes for some sport weight yarns, and I would say so for this, to go to the fingering weight, it is such a drastic change that you will change the look of it altogether to meet the gauge. It's best to rewrite the pattern. I know that's not always the answer people want, but like to redo the math to make sure that it's going to fit. And if you're really confident, you can, like Hannah said, because of the way it's constructed, you could crochet it to the schematic measurements, which means you might be doing more chains and you might be doing more rows. And if you're confident in that, go for it. But most of the time, I would say when it's like a really big yarn weight sizing change, you're either going to get a very loose stitch, which could be nice, like going up hook sizes, going down, like getting a very loosey stitch, or do it in a different yarn, potentially the suggested yarn.
Yeah.
Someone said, can I use home decor yarn for the bag? Yes, you can. The reason why I say you can is because, and I put a note of this into the bag, we're not doing a garment. So we get a lot of leeway when we're not doing a garment. But because we're crocheting a rectangle, you're going to start your first row to be the dimensions in the schematic. As long as that first row is just an even stitch count, then you're just going to keep making that until you get the height that's in the schematic, and it's a 1-to-3 ratio. And so you can really use any yarn you want. You're just going to make that rectangle to that 1-to-3 ratio and follow the instructions from there. And I know we had a couple more questions. I was like, sorry, look at the left side of my screen.
What can I ask you a question? What's home decor yarn? What's that?
It's very thick. It's a Burnett, I believe. Yeah, it's a yarn that was out for a while and then it kind of like disappeared and now like it's back.
I've never heard of it. Oh,
I'm trying to think of where I might have some in my office right now.
Almost kind of like it's like t-shirt kind of yarn,
yeah.
But
really thick.
So it will be a heavier bag using it because it is like, I mean, you're talking like this was made with a worsted. You're talking basically going almost like bulky.
Okay.
But it would work only for that. Like I wouldn't do it for a garment.
No, but it would work for the bag. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's a question from Kim Michelle on the gauge swatch instructions for the Viscountess. We need help where? Yeah, so it's the V stitch, isn't it, that it uses?
It's the V stitch. Yeah, it's the V stitch. So yeah, I did a video for my last one. I didn't do a little video for this one. But yeah, I would just work into the V-stitch pattern, just doing a little swatch. I know if you kind of follow the instructions do go row by row because of how the construction of the top is. So it's not like you're going in the round. So it'd be easy to just do a smaller little 6x6 square roughly to do the swatch. So just follow the stitch pattern instructions, but just do it smaller.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then we have a happy, love the comfy cotton yarn blend. It's so soft. It really is, isn't it? I've never used it before we used it for this. And when it came, I was like, oh, this is nice.
I love comfy. I think just being in Florida where like I honestly feel like I could just use it year round here. It is one of my favorites from there.
Yeah,
It's because I think a lot of times when we say like, oh, use a cotton yarn, if you were to go to your local craft store, you're really not going to find cotton yarns that are soft enough to wear, just straight up. Like you might find one, but whatever one you find, I guarantee comfy cotton's probably softer. So that's why often we think cotton's like, oh, that's like heavy or stiff or not like comfortable to wear. You'll be shocked at comfy cotton about how soft it is, the wonderful drape it can get. Because there's a difference between using a stiff cotton for like washcloths or bags or whatever else, and then using one that is a softer cotton for the garments.
Definitely.
Someone said about to place an order during the We Crochet Big Summer Yarn Sale. Any sneak peeks with yardage requirements? So if you're buying anything for this crochet along, you can go comment. I think she's on YouTube. You're on YouTube, but follow the links on YouTube. If you happen to be following us on a Facebook page or Instagram, comment CAL, and that will send you the links for this. But get signed up for the link, and then whichever way you sign up, you're going to have all the yardage requirements for any 6 of these projects for this crochet along. I know last time we did do a little bit of a, hey, we do have more patterns coming next month. We are all still working very diligently and very hard on those.
Well, mine's out. The yardage on mine and everything went out on an email yesterday, so that's there.
Nice. You can definitely, yes.
Mine are probably going to be sometime next month. I have some other fun things going on right now that have got me tied up. So I haven't been able to work on the patterns. I'm anxious to, but
they're coming. I know. And it's such like, we're like, hey, we have some other things coming in comfy. And like, I wish we could give you exact yardages. I would say, honestly, like look at this like cardigan, look at Michelle's top. A lot of what we're all doing is just along those lines, similarly. So order like that, like order yardage amounts for a cardigan or a long sleeve top or something. And that way if you have some extras, I promise we have other projects you can use it on.
Oh, yeah. I like to just order 10 of everything. I'm always like 10.
I know 10.
That's 10. My magic number 2.
10. I'm just always like, oh, I'll get 10.
I'm doing my granny stuff, and I added a hood onto one today, and I was like, oh my gosh, that hood took a lot of yarn, and now I'm like, I'm gonna have to change the rib because I haven't got enough to go around the bottom.
They can sometimes take more than you think. I know the hood for my designs takes a little bit more than one ball, so not like, but see, it's also the fingering, so you get 218 yards on a ball. So I probably use like 250 yards or something to do the hood. But mine isn't an overly big hood. Like I tried to keep it because I knew we wouldn't really be using the hood. It's kind of more just for style to add the hood. So it's a snugger fitting one. It's not like a big loose hood. So yeah.
And then we had a comment from Michelle, I think someone back about left hand. They were struggling with something left hand. I don't know if they said the pattern. This is struggling left-handed.
In the top. Now, Brianna, you have a tip for left-handed with the mirror, right? Like if you put a mirror up to the video, like your computer screen or and have it flip, and then that can help. Yeah. Because the pattern should work out going both ways. Like So
I think sometimes I can appreciate that, because I think if I were to watch a left-handed video, your brain is constantly trying to mirror it, even though the instructions will work out exactly the same. But if you're watching the video, someone's working opposite of what you're working, and so you're kind of maybe like flipping it in your head. But the only difference between left-handed crocheters and right-handed crocheters when it comes to watching an instructional video is that it's just mirrored. So a lot of designers will film it in right or left-handed, and then they'll mirror it for the other option. Now, the reason why we rarely see entire instructional videos like ours that end up being sometimes up to an hour long flipped is because it just takes so much work and time in a file that big to do and to upload. And it's not actually great for us with the algorithms to have 2 of the same video. So what we say is like, you can either watch it on a tablet or a computer screen and do a quick search of like how to mirror your screen. So basically you're going to take your screen and it will like mirror it and flip it and then hit play. And you'll be seeing it then. You'll take a right-handed video and you'll be watching it as a left-handed video. Or if you can't do that, because like sometimes we don't want to mess with our settings on our computers and things like that, just take a mirror and set your computer screen towards the mirror and then watch it from the mirror. So like if I had my phone facing out and I had a mirror right here, I'm just going to like place it up here and then watch it, hit play and watch it in the mirror. And sometimes, as long as your phone's not flipping it back, but like a lot of times it's just mirroring it that way. And then you can see it worked and it will look the same as the direction you're going in. So it's never really different instructions when it comes to right and left hand. The only time that wouldn't work, they would get a little bit tricky, is say you were doing something that was a specific type of color work. Most color work will work out fine too. It will end up looking amazing. But if you have words, so like if you take a word and you mirror it, that's what happens. So the only time you really have to then do it slightly differently is if you have a graph that has a word on it, because you don't want to crochet it backwards.
Or the ones that I think of are the, like, you know, these beautiful like Christmas blankets as well, that then your deer will be facing the opposite way is all. But that doesn't really matter, does it? That's fine. It's only words that are important, isn't it?
Right. Most like because my stockings that has like a deer on it. If you were to crochet it following the written instructions, it would be mirrored, but it still looks amazing. It really doesn't matter. No one's even going to know the difference, and it looks fantastic. But words are the issue.
Yeah. We don't have words in this one. No,
there's no words in this one, so you don't have to worry about it.
Oh yeah, someone's saying here that Crochet Crowd does left-handed crochet videos along with right-handed. Yeah, and so does Sarah Jane from Bella Coco. It's mostly like instructional stitch ones, isn't it? Yeah, shorter videos rather than full garment patterns, I believe. Anyway. Yeah. Definitely. Oh well, I forgot to say beforehand.
YouTube is going to how they're going to, because it's like basically the same video, that can cause problems for us as well. So hopefully they don't run into trouble with that, because it's like duplicate content.
Yep. YouTube really does not like duplicate content, and a mirrored video could still, with the algorithm, can still be seen as a duplicate content. No, I do have shorter ones, and way back when that I used to mirror, like stitch instructions that are pretty short that I've done. But that's one of the reasons why I kind of stopped doing the mirrored thing, is because like it just wasn't, YouTube didn't like it. Because they just see you as trying to get reach with duplicate content, and the way algorithms work is like then you're competing against yourself, and it stinks. Like that's what we have to do to survive in this industry, is we've got to get the Google and the Instagram, I don't know, gods, I guess, to shine down on us.
Work out what it is they want. That's what we need to do.
We don't know sometimes, but we do know they hate duplicate content, and so sometimes mirroring our videos just is, they won't show it to you. They deem it as like not the best content. It's horrible. I know. So that's why we say like it's really easy just to mirror it, and that's all that people are doing behind the scenes too. Plus, when I do that, I have to save it on my computer. And at one point, my husband, I remember years ago, I don't know if your husbands ever look at your computers. Mine's like my IT guy, and he will look at it and he's like, "Goodness, woman, how do you eat up this much space that quick? Like, how many terabytes do I need to buy you?" type thing. And it's always video. It's always video.
I'm embarrassed to say that my phone has the terabyte, and I'm pretty much maxed out on it. And my Instagram is acting up on me again. Like it's freezing all the time. And usually that's because my phone is getting too full, and I need to take the time to delete stuff, but I don't like deleting things.
You never know when you might need it. Hey?
You never know, right? So, I mean, I'm trying. I'm teaching myself new systems to be better at that, but it's hard because we're doing so much video all the time.
Yeah.
And so many pictures all the time. So it's really easy to eat up.
And even when you go clean out, like it feels like you spent forever and you're like, oh, you got 2%. And you're like, oh, yeah.
Oh, look, we have a good morning. Another great batch of designs. You're all so talented. I look forward to making
Oh, thank you. That's
and
so
that's
nice.
something I meant to mention earlier on is that the last tally, I can't remember when I last looked, we've got like over 8,000 people joining us for this.
Oh,
There
wow.
are so many people signed up and making this stuff. So I think and we say it in all of our crochet alongs, don't we? Like, we don't expect everyone to come out and have everything done and post straight away. We don't mind whenever you want to post. If it's like, we're still having people post from last year's crochet alongs, aren't we?
Yes, love it.
Projects now.
Yeah,
So this isn't
sure.
like, this is the time frame finished by the 30th. We want you to post these projects whenever you finish them, whenever that might be. So yeah, we're expecting 8,000 bags, 8,000 wallflower hats, all in our groups.
Yeah. So I guess we'll mention again too that the groups are really where all of the action happens, our Facebook community groups. I know some of you aren't on Facebook, so you can always email or, take part in the lives. But if you're on Facebook, join our groups, and that's where you can post your pictures and ask questions in the community.
Yeah, and they've been really active already, I think, haven't they? And people supporting each other, which is such a lovely thing. Of people, I've done this gauge swatch. Do you think it looks okay? And they're like, oh no, block it before you do. Loads and loads of hints and tricks, because there's thousands and thousands of people combined in our community groups, aren't there?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't tried. I was just thinking about Instagram, and I think Instagram may have a group feature now, but I haven't tapped into that yet or tried. So, if you're on Instagram watching and you are on Facebook, make sure to join our groups. But if not, you can always tag us, or, if you do a story or just tag us in your post, then we can check it out and try to reshare the stuff you're making.
Yes.
Definitely.
Wow, we're having a lot more questions here. I love this. Oh, someone said they made 4 things from the last crochet along. That's amazing, Lori. I love that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Someone said they just got here. Can you show us your progress and tell us what we're making? Okay, so real quick, I'm going to try to keep this short, but we're doing a crochet along. There are 6 patterns in there. You can see some of us wearing some of the patterns. If you comment, she's on YouTube. If you go to the link on YouTube, it will take you right there for the crochet along. There is a special page. I see people asking for that on YouTube. You can also, the QR code that is up there on the screen, you can scan that.
I'll put
and that will take you as well. If you are on, there is a special page for the crochet along to get signed up. Then once you get signed up, all the information is also there. Hannah just threw it in the comments for where to join, where to post, where to get your yarn, all that good stuff. And then if you want to join the VIP collection, which has some extra bonuses and all the patterns together in one place, that ends at the end of the month. That will go away. It goes in the vault. It's no longer available. So if you want to get that, definitely get it. If you want to join us by going to our blogs, these patterns are now posted on our blogs. If you want to go there, you can sign up for to be a subscriber of the blog. It's free. It's through the Grow account, and it unlocks the content so you can join us that way as well. Because we just want everyone to join us, no matter how you join us. We're super excited to have you come on board. And then no deadlines. We hate deadlines. Post your yarn color choices, post your in progress pictures in our community groups, and all those are linked inside of the package when you join the VIP or the free access with the links that just got posted. Y'all are like posting links, and like I'm over here like, what can I?
You're doing all this stuff. You're telling us.
I'm like, how do I post? I don't want to like mess up. I'm like, lately I'm afraid to touch anything when we're live that I'm going to like kick myself.
I just posted in because I noticed in the chat in my YouTube, even though Hannah's posting here, it doesn't show up in my YouTube live feed. So that's why I just popped that in there.
Oh, good one.
Now I'm going to go see if I
It
can
is hard to, with all these screens, to pay attention to everything, but I thought I would pop that in there.
Like, am I gonna like mess something up?
I'm gonna put up here. Evelyn's just said, I'm on MJ's Facebook group so far. They've really helped me recently. That's so lovely to hear. That's exactly what they're for, isn't it? Not just these patterns either. Any of our patterns that you make, That's the place where we have a hub. We have thousands of people there that want to, and us and our admins and everyone else. We're all there to support people. So if you ever think that you can't manage to make something or you're too frightened to have a go, and that's why we started these crochet alongs, wasn't it? To empower people and give them the confidence just to try stuff. So they're the places to be. I want to. Sorry, go on.
We hear comments all the time that people are afraid to make garments. And that's really how we came together, is the three of us do garments, and we honestly do them really well. We have YouTube tutorials for every single one to help you through. And it's just like, people want to do it. You hear crocheters that really want to do it and haven't done it yet. And and yeah, sometimes you go and you find a pattern and it's just, you want to toss it out the window because maybe it doesn't have all the extras that we include. And so we include, like, you know, a lot of extras in our PDFs. We're here live if you ever have any questions. We don't just like go away. We have our community groups for you to ask questions in. And then our YouTube videos really, really help to get that visual so that it's whatever you're making now, I guarantee you can do these garments. We're not using any like tricky things going on. You're really, especially with it, like you're just making rectangles and you're just working back and forth. It's not a challenge like some people think it is.
And I know I've noticed in my group sometimes people will make it and maybe they haven't checked gauge and they've winged it. You know, we like to do that, right? We like to wing it, and then they gift it to somebody who it does fit, and then they try, and then they make another one and adjust, right? I mean, the biggest thing with garments is the gauge, but even if sometimes you mess up, it's practice, and you can gift it to somebody. They love that.
It's all about learning, isn't it? And it's about trying. It's about having the confidence to try.
Yep. And never be afraid to frog.
And then once you make something and you love the way it fits, I feel like it's addicting. Like it is very, I think crochet is addicting, period. But then when you start making things and you love the way it looks and fits, then that just kind of creates a whole other addiction that you want to.
Good addiction. If you're going to have one, it's the best one.
It's the best. It is the best one. It is the best addiction to have, I think.
I think so too. Someone asked about our backgrounds for yarn. I just want to be completely transparent here. And while this looks great, right outside this screen does not. I've got bins on the floor.
Yes, this is the only
area right behind us. The rest of it is, it's our work areas. So they get messy. But yeah, we have lots of yarn, lots of different brands behind me.
Yeah. I had a massive delivery this week, didn't I? And it's all just literally sat over there, not sorted or anything.
Mine's on the dining room table. It looks quite appetizing. It all looks delicious yarn on the dining room table. Like it's just scattered with yarn until I put it away.
It's fine. I don't like putting it all away though. I'm like, I just want to start using it straight away. But
I know. Oh, I love this, Hannah. I just want to let you know that your dress is just gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Doreen.
It is. It's stunning. It's so stunning.
I need to find somewhere to wear it. I need to go somewhere now that I can, wear it.
Yeah. On a date.
Yeah. Well, David, you need to be taken out go to London.
Yeah. Nice. Well, we're going for a trip that's like his birthday celebration in July. So if it's hot, maybe I'll wear it.
Yes, you need to.
Janice says she's loving this, Cal. I had to frog a bit yesterday, but not discouraged. Love hearing that. Yeah. I think once people accept that, like, you're not doing anything wrong. Like, even as us designers, when we go to design something, I guarantee you the chances we're going to frog at least once is like 100% most of the time. Like it is very rare, especially when it comes to doing something that's fitted, that we can just like go at it, do the whole thing without frogging. That's not a thing. And we learn each time, and frogging is always worth it to go back a little bit, because I find like the times I have it and I'm like, oh, I'll just like deal with it. I don't wear it. I don't like it as much. Yeah. So I never hesitate to frog. It's part of the process. I don't really see it as something negative. It's really just like, okay, I did it. It looks fine. Now I'm going to do it better. Or I did it and my gauge is off and I'm going to do it better. And another thing I just want to mention when you're doing a garment, any of these garments you see us doing, keep a tape measure near you as you're going, because we didn't bust this out in one night. We know you can't bust this out in one night. And so as you set down a project and pick it up, depending on your mood and how tired you are, how much energy you have, it's really going to affect the tension. And so your gauge might change. So it's always a good idea to keep a tape measure next to you as you're working on projects. Depending on the stitch, but every 5, 10, 15 rows, take a quick check to see if you might need to adjust your tension a bit. I've had that where like I'll start a project and even if it's a rectangle, all of a sudden it's like going in. And I'm like, oh, I must have a lot of tension today.
So I used to design with someone who used to design for Simply Crochet here in the UK, and she was a massive rugby fan. So we lived in Bath and they have a huge rugby following. And so she did this blanket once and then she brought it to one of our meetings and showed us. And it literally it just went in and then back out again and then in and then out. And she was like, it was every Saturday afternoon when she realized they were the sections when she was watching the rugby matches, and she was so tense, like her tension, and I'd never ever seen it before. It was amazing. So it massively affects your tension, how tense you are.
Yeah.
It certainly does. Yeah. The top that I was working on, like the V-neck, but it's the crew neck. I still haven't got that pattern done yet, but I had to completely frog. I pretty much completely frogged my long sleeve because I think I went up a size thinking, yeah, maybe I want this more oversized. But then when I put it on, I was like, no, it's way too oversized. I didn't like it. And I thought, but I kept going because I thought, oh no, it'll be okay. It'll be okay.
I do that. I'm like, yeah.
And then finally I was like, I'm not going to like this. Like, so I had this big ball like of frogging, but I did it. I just was like, no, it's okay. Because if not, it was just going to stay over there in the corner and I probably wasn't going to pick it up. So I just pulled it all out and I like made the smaller size, which I just have one sleeve left. I have to film the sleeve. And so it's sitting there waiting for me to finish the sleeve, but I have to film that section for you guys before I finish the sleeve. So that's where I'm at with that project, but I can't wait for it to be done because I actually made it in this blue, which I love this blue color, and it's going to fit much better now. So,
so worth it.
Yeah, it's going to be worth
Hannah,
it.
there's a UK question, and I love that you are here.
What's the question? I
think it's about pricing. Like,
is it easy to transfer to the UK as far as packing and pricing? If a lot of crochet communities from the US expand into the UK? Yeah, well, I assume in terms of like delivery and stuff, is it packaging and pricing? Do you mean?
So let's just cover both. From us, it would convert, right? If you're purchasing our
and all of our stuff is digital, so there's no difference there. There's no packaging, there's no shipping, there's nothing from us. The only difference, and I have had this question a few times, obviously I'm from the UK, but when we sell our collections together and on some of my platforms for patterns as well, and Michelle, you're the same, aren't you? We're like, we sometimes sell in a currency that isn't our home currency. So the VIP package here is priced in US dollars, and that's because of the platform that we're using, and the vast majority of people that follow us are from the US, and so it does convert though. When you decide to pay, you don't pay any conversion fees or anything. The platform will figure out whatever currency you have in your bank account, it will charge to that amount. And that's true of, when you buy our patterns on Etsy and all of that kind of stuff, isn't it? It will come from your home currency. But then in terms of, there's lots of yarn brands that are now starting to ship, like worldwide, aren't they? And I think they're trying to get really competitive with how they ship. And I was talking to one of them the other day, actually, and saying that their drive and their goal is to kind of get rid of the shipping taxes and get rid of and do really quick shipping as well. That's their entire goal. So I'd be really interested to see how that all pans out, because it can be really expensive, can't it, to get stuff shipped? Really expensive.
We Crochet ships pretty easy to the UK. I know it might take a few more days than the US, but
it depends, like 10 to 14 days it takes from We Crochet to get to me, so not too bad. That's
probably similar for me as well. Usually a couple weeks, sometimes quicker. It just depends.
I love this question. We're going to talk about sleeves.
Right. Where's the sleeve?
I love this.
Is it there?
So when it comes to, this is called customization. I love this topic. This is one of my favorite topics. When it comes to any item of clothing, so like if we go to our local, Marshall's, TJ Maxx, Target, whatever, where you buy your clothes, and you decide you want a new pair of jeans or you want a new top and you're shopping, the reason why there are dressing rooms is because we know, even though we're picking out our size, we don't know what it's going to look like on us because we're each individual with different body shapes and everything's different for everyone. Now, when we write our patterns, what we're doing is we're picking that, like when you go to the store and you pull it off the rack, size. So we go by the Craft Yarn Council's measurements, which are pretty common for most designers to use. We're trying to, get a baseline for what's pretty average within certain sizes. And that's how we design our patterns. So it's like we're starting from, size, the small, medium, large type category. But we also know that when we go in a dressing room and we're trying on fashion clothing, they're not all coming home with us because some things are going to work and some things are not going to work. And that's just the way of life. Like if I ever like get half the clothes that I try on at a department store home, I'm like, that's a win. Like that's a huge win.
Mm-hmm.
But with crochet, we have a huge advantage and opportunity to customize so that we make sure that we're making something that works for us that we absolutely like. Now, every single garment is designed slightly different, from construction to stitches to like how easy things are going to be to adjust. But we try to give tips sometimes within our patterns. And then we love when we come live and we can answer these type of questions for you on a live. Now, there's several things to do with a sleeve depending on the construction of it. I'm going to give a couple examples. So for this one, the way it's made is the sleeves are done a little bit later. So like you've got this centerpiece, which has a seam across the shoulders. And then the sleeves are seamed here, but we're also seaming up the side. So one option you can do for this is make the bust area the size that you want. So it's always smart when we're looking at patterns to not just go off that whole like, oh, I know I'm always a size large, or I know I'm always a 2X, so I'm just going to go with that. Let's look at ease, and let's look at measurements, because we're going to give those. Let's look at the schematic to say, oh, you know what, this pattern might have 6 inches of ease, but I think I'd like a tighter fit, so I'm going to go with this bust size because I don't want as much ease. Like, we get to customize it every step of the way, and that's why I love crochet. And then when it comes to like this pattern, if you wanted the sleeve to be a bit smaller, you can go down a size for the sleeves and just continue to seam up the side to match the sleeves. So it's really not that complicated. And then hold it up when you're making the sleeve. You can hold it up and see like if you like the depth of it. And then you can make it where it has a tighter cuff or a wide cuff. When it comes to other patterns that might be top down or a different construction, you can decrease as you're making the sleeve. You can make decreases to start so that it kind of tapers at first so that the sleeve will fit a little bit better. And we can do that vice versa too. We can do increases. I'm trying to think, Michelle, yours is top down?
Mine's top down. So another option for a top down, you could stop your yoke at the sleeve, the amount of that you like the sleeve, and then you could continue to increase your bust if you needed to. So like you're stopping up here, right? Like if you wanted the sleeve tighter, you could stop here and then continue to increase for your bust area to make the sleeve a little bit smaller. Or like Briana says, you can decrease the sleeve. I've had people in my group that have even taken underneath and just seamed part of the sleeve so that they didn't even have to do the decreases, because some of the plus size, the sleeves end up getting a bit bigger. So some people have done that. If they were like a plus size woman that had a skinnier arm that needed it, they just sort of seamed that little section and it looked fine. Like it worked out great too. So there's little tricks that you can do with top down to still customize it. Yeah.
Yeah. Hannah's is really easy. It's just seaming, right?
Yeah. Seaming. Just go as much or as little as you like upside. And I do that. I do give ideas in the pattern, obviously, but in the video, I'm just like, yep, just seam up to where you want it to be. And that's the great thing as well. We think about the construction of our stuff, don't we? That like you can basically try these things on and just fit them to you and decide, okay, right now you've put because we put the underbust band on before you do the seaming. So it's like, actually, once that's on, you can then decide where you want it to sit underneath your arm, because you can try it on.
Yeah. And this, like, for instance, this is a construction. We all do a lot of 2 flat. So I'm working out the sleeves, as you can see on this pattern I'm working on. So you control how much you're going to crochet here. You could crochet as much. You'll do your first half of the sleeve generally with this type of construction, and then you do the front. So it's so easy to change on this type of construction, your sleeve. You just make it, like, if you want it 12 inches, you crochet half of it 6 inches. And so lots of different ways you can tweak patterns. Looking at the schematic is always
so
where you
helpful.
want to start. Like, look at the schematics and see or the finished measurements to see kind of what the sleeve sizes are, so you can see if you need to tweak. And the butt, like the whole thing, you need to kind of check.
And I think it all comes back as well then to, like, knowing your size, and not knowing your size, but knowing your measurements, knowing where your proportions are, which side, because you might fit like within one size bracket for your bust, but then your arms and your waist or your hips might be within another size bracket. So you've got to be the one that makes the decision. Well, I'm halfway between these 2 sizes, but I'm going to make this one. But then I can adjust this part of it so that it fits me better in this area. So, and your fit guide, Michelle, is perfect for that, isn't it? The fit guide that you get as one of the bonuses is the VIP. If you've got that already, make sure you go and read that, because that will really, really help.
Yeah. And like, if you don't have a tape measure handy, or you're just like, okay, is there like a lazier way to figure this out? Is there a lazier way to figure this out? So Michelle, will you hold yours up again with, just hold it up for me real quick. Thank you so much. I'm like, Vanna White over here. I'm just kidding. So notice Michelle's garment right now with the sleeves going out, and we're looking at that depth of that sleeve. Go find your favorite sweater or cardigan, lay it out on the bed, take what Michelle has right now and lay it over the top of it. And then that will help you know how many rows you want to do for that arm depth.
Exactly.
And if you have a favorite cardigan or a favorite sweater, like, well, I love the fit of that. How do I get that fit? Just lay your fabric on top of it and be like, oh, I guess I just need to do a few more rows, and then I've met the arm depth I like. And that's a lazier way to do it.
Skinny arm. If I stopped here, I'm very skinny.
Yeah.
For me. And then once you start making enough garments, you get to know, like, for me anyway, I know that this is how much ease that I like on my sleeve, or what I need to make it if I want it fitted. So you kind of do get to know what you like once you've made one and you're like, yes, I like this fit.
Yes.
So
I like to mess around with different constructions, trying different fits with different constructions and seeing how they look on me. And that's kind of what we love doing. Yeah, that's what we love doing as designers, isn't it? And that's what we spend our life doing, so that we can make it as easy as possible for everyone that's making our patterns.
I know. And this design, I was talking it over with Emma, because I don't do a lot of seamed garments anymore because I'm lazy. And I was like, okay, maybe this one I need to do. I was like looking at the stitch pattern. I'm like, maybe I need to do the sleeve this way, right? And seam it. And Emma's like, yeah, you should do that, Mom. And then I'm working away on it, and I'm like, nope. I'm not doing that. I want to do it. I like crocheting it all in one piece. It just seems easier, and it takes longer when you're doing this long stretch of sleeve, like back and forth, because you're going across both sleeves in the back. But then I don't have to do separate pieces and seam them on. So I'm happy to just do it this way. It'll still look good. I'm like, oh, it'll look fine doing it this way.
I really like that construction, because I think, for me anyway, it suits me, because it just gives you a softer shoulder.
Yeah, I don't like the line on the shoulder either.
Yeah, either. Not on me.
And it just comes down to what styles you like too. And that's why we release so many patterns, is because we know that you might like one cardigan we do, but not another cardigan. So we want to give the choices. And that's why we also come together, because when we do a crochet along like this, you are getting a variety of projects and a variety of constructions. And that is the main like bonus to joining these crochet alongs, is you're learning different things. We're making it super simple to learn, but we intentionally do different constructions so that we can tackle and talk about, you know, okay, what if we do want a different type of sleeve? What would we do with this construction? What would we do with that construction? And that way, within one crochet along, we're learning so many skills so that when you approach that again in the future, you know, you'll know if you like that construction or if you just hate it. You'll know how to adjust it to your own body size for in the future as well. Because our goal with these crochet alongs aren't just for you to walk away with a gorgeous like accessory or garment. We want you to walk away feeling like you learned something to take forward, to take to that next project, to either struggle less or make it more customized for yourself. And that's so really quick. Just joining.
Yeah, seeing the constructions you like the best too, because that's I find a construction like yours, Brianna, is a lot easier to adjust a sleeve than maybe a top down. And these ones are even better. I find this type of construction is so easy because you can just change as you go to what you want. Yep,
it is. I love Janet just says she can't wait to try all the designs. My plan is to do them all. Definitely won't be finished before the end of the month. I wouldn't be able to finish before the end of the month either. But happy I bought the VIP package so I can have access and do them as I can. Yes, absolutely. And that is the reason why we want to say again, if you want to get that VIP package, it goes away at the end of the month. So even if you can't start right now, it's not going to be available later. So it's a great idea with everything we've talked about, getting those bonuses like the fit guide. We have some fun row counters and project planners in there to keep you stay organized. All of that stuff comes in the crochet along. And if you want that, get it now. And you'll have it forever. And then you can post pictures whenever you want. And if you're doing the free version on our blogs, that's amazing too. Still come in the community group. Everyone, we want you to post, show us your project pictures, ask questions. We just want you to have a wonderful experience with a great outcome. We don't want these to end up being a whip in the corner. We don't want them to be abandoned. If you need to tackle something and you're just not sure, ask us. We're going to be coming back again next week. So if you want to get started on this and you want to play around with these stitches and these designs, we're going to be going live again next week before the end of this crochet along to answer any more questions. Yeah. And I think with that, I think we're good with Oh, someone said I just did my swatch and it is spot on. So now I'm officially making the cardigan. I love it, Deborah. So excited.
That's amazing. I can't believe you've done the swatch in the time we've been chatting. That's so cool. And then talking of frogging, I've just realized I've done something completely wrong on the thing I'm doing. So I'm going to have to frog everything I just did.
When we're distracted, it happens. And I put my project down. I was like, well,
I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have been doing it.
I can't count and talk. I can't do it. So yes, I think that is all for us today. Any questions, jump into our community group. We'll answer them as we can. Comment CAL if you are on Instagram or a Facebook page, and then they'll be in there. Oh, someone just asked, is there a new VIP package every month? No, I mean, I wish, but there's no, we've been planning this one since December. So, these take us a long time to put together, which we want to make sure we have all the extras in there for you. And it takes a lot of work for us to do these. So no, there's not one next month. This is it. We will be back again. This fall.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Crazy day. I'm like,
I know.
But we will be back again this fall.
Yeah. But in between times, we do our own events, don't we? And stuff as well. Yes. We promote each other. So as long as you follow one of us, you'll find out what we're all doing. And we all have crochet alongs and patterns and stuff launching all the time.
Yeah. Join our email list so that you know, because I do feel for the people who see this live later, in a couple weeks, or they come across our crochet along next month and they can no longer get it. And we feel super bad about that. But just be sure to join our newsletters, follow all of our social media. We really do try to post as much as we can during these crochet alongs so that you have the information so you don't miss it. So if you're watching this a couple weeks later, I am so sorry. I'm going to apologize right now. You can still go get these patterns individually in our shops and on our blogs.
Yeah.
And then be sure to sign up for our newsletters so that you know when the next crochet along comes, so you don't miss that one.
Yeah, definitely. Cool.
Right.
Right.
Well, thanks
We'll
for
see
chatting today.
everyone next week. Yeah, lovely to see everyone. And we'll see you again soon.
Yep.
Okay.